initializes different ones. These are all from my GitHub. These are all repos from my GitHub. So both of them taken, the GitHub repository, and they specialize in writing code. Voice is low. Please try joining again. Yeah, but we can upgrade to plan to unlock Cloud Code, right? Yes. Is AWS okay? Cover MCP plus Playwright. I'll come to that in a second. So here, they get more power. These AI agents are super smart. These models are extremely smart, and you will see their real prowess when you give them a little more room to play. And let's start here. And then what we will do is we will take it to terminal. Terminal once before I scare everybody. Let me quickly show you its face. This is terminal. We will use this because the real power of AI agents actually comes out here when it's running code on my computer. But we will start right here. Okay, let's start very simple. Let's build a simple app. Do you folks want to build a simple app right now? I'll walk you through, actual simple app. Yeah. So what we will do is, have you seen Notion or Apple Notes? Notion or Apple Notes? Yes. So we will build a very simple note-taking app like Apple Notes. Apple Notes is very simple. If you've not seen it, let me show you. This is literally Apple Notes. You create a new note, you type here, and you save it. That's it. We'll make a simple version of this. All right. And the idea is, let's see how far we can get without even looking at the code. But you folks are, software engineers, and I would definitely talk about code quality and all the issues AI comes with. But let's first get started. I'm going to, probably a default cloud environment. I'm not going to select any repository. I will zoom in so you can read it. Except edits, I can change the mode. I can add, or I can simply do the recording. And what I'm going to say is, I will record my voice using this recorder button, but I don't trust, their recording. So I will use OpenAI's recording. You can see this is record button. I want you to build me an application, a web app using Next.js, use Tailwind, make a simple markdown note-taking app. It should have a index where I can see all the notes and their titles. And when I click on it, it should open the editor and like save in local storage or wherever. Keep it super simple and super neat. Use shared CN components. There you go. All I'm saying, I'm giving it my preference of technical stack. I'm going to use TypeScript and Next.js with Tailwind and shared CN. If you don't know what these things are, that's all right. This is just an example of a stack. You could have your stack, and for example, let's say you work in Rust or I don't know, Python. It would understand it just the same. This is wrong repository, so maybe I will have to create one for it to work. Yeah, this one doesn't give me an option to start in abstraction. I'll have to select a repository and an environment. I'll show you how to set that up in a second, but at least let's get Claude Code started with this prompt. Select a repo first. Okay, both of them want me to select a repository. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to GitHub and create an empty repository for them. Because they will need somewhere to host this entire thing. Create a new repository, and we will call it, notes April 26. I will, I think that is good enough. Choose an owner, that is me, and create a repository. Awesome. I think now I can use it to, I'm going to copy this entire message and show you how I will add a repository right here. Let's look for note. I think I'll have to refresh. Right. And let's look for notes. The oh, it's not here anywhere. Very strange. Never mind. We'll try on CodeX. They take a few minutes to sync from GitHub. There you go. Notes April 26. So this is the one I created. And now I'm going to, I can ask it to plan first. And usually it's better to do that. And I'm going to select plan and send this prompt. It's very much like ChatGPT, but let's see what it does. And then we will bring this code to our, system, to my laptop. You can see it created an environment for us. It will, get that up and running. And here I will check why it is misbehaving. Let me open this in Claude app, maybe that will work. Right. Come on, Claude, don't get stuck. Open folder. Okay, it's not letting me pick from there. Very strange. I don't know why it's today like Claude, not Claude. There you go. Finally, it is here. Okay, now I've selected the same repository. The issue is they will conflict. So what I can do is I can create a new branch, and I can say create a new branch feature log, and I've sent that. What's happening right now, folks, as we speak, it is both of them are spinning up sandboxes, which are essentially isolated computer for themselves, and running their code, etc. There, both of them are doing that. I can open this one and show you. We can look at the logs. So the agent is actually working on this computer, and it's running this shell command, etc. All these pieces. Currently, it's thinking, and we can continue to chat with it, stop it, or same thing right here. So right now what we did is we are running them in code specialist mode and trying to build an app, and let's see who wins first, who gets us a working app first. But in the meanwhile, I have a quick question for you folks. How many of you tried the AI for coding idea, but it did not work for you? And for how many of you it has been revolutionary? Did not work for you, or yes, I have tried and worked. Awesome. Worked revolutionary. Did not work very well. Okay. Didn't work very well. Interesting. So there are people on the extreme side. For those people who, whom it did not work, let me know if this sounds like the issue that you had. Because I have been speaking to a lot of software engineers who've been struggling making AI work. And this is, roughly what they said, that I am always close to the finish line, but never there. That is what that is roughly the feeling I got from people. Is that relatable, not relatable, or is your reason different? Relatable, yes, no? Yes? Right. Non-stop bugs, correct. Awesome. So, and because I've spent so much time with software engineers using AI, I have observed some habits which are different between people who call it revolutionary and are having a good time with it, and for other people who are struggling. Again, if you have code quality issues, etc., all of those are correct. Of course, a human being, if they actually sit down to write code, honestly, they will write better code. But nobody actually gets time to do that. You know how many shortcuts we have to take to ship things in software in time. So in reality, the code quality is never that great, even by humans. And I want you to remember this landing page that got created. Like, because software has become so cheap, so now it is seen as a disposable iteration. What I mean by that is, now business will assume that I can have 5 such landing pages within couple of minutes or hours, and then marketing is expecting that. Earlier, probably there was one engineer taking 1 week, 1 month to build one landing page. So the expectation changes, right? And there are certain cases, for example, landing page, where I would rather not, waste time of my, software engineering team, and I would rather they work on some other solution because this can be automated. So the places where, suddenly, like when coding has become cheap, software engineers have become expensive because code has to be reviewed. Everybody's writing code. And another interesting thing that has happened is we are all being very careful about where we ask our engineering team to spend their time, right? That is a big thing. And as we go through today, I hope I can share some system things with you, which will take this feeling away and hopefully make AI, coding tick for you folks. And one of the things that, I wanted to mention about this entire piece. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Let's go back to Claude Code. Yeah, one of the things that, I noticed is people, software engineers struggle with where should I draw the line. Should I be reading code, reviewing it because then they get frustrated, or should they just, just ignore, and as long as it works and QA passes it, like we can ship the code. I think both extremes are too far fetched. They don't work. As a human being, you have to give reliability of the software when you make it. So the reality, once again, is somewhere in between. And one of the most interesting things that, I would want to say is, uh, let's talk about how to prompt it. Okay, and what we can do with prompting. Actually, even before we go to prompting, because prompting is very obvious, you write simple prompts, and I will talk more about that. I want to talk about a new process that got unlocked, which people used to talk about earlier, but no one actually did it. How many of you heard this term called prototyping? Have you heard this term, prototyping? Yes, no? How, everybody will tell you, give talks on, go on stage and go like, build prototypes. I don't know about you, only software engineers could do prototypes earlier, and always, so software engineers were busy in something more important than working on a prototype. Now working on a prototype is super easy. Okay, in fact, I can take the same prompt that I gave to Claude Code, and this time I will go to regular code, Claude, okay, not Claude Code, and say, build me an interactive prototype of this. So even as my software is getting built with real functionality, I can actually make 5, 10 prototypes right now. I can also ping Gemini, I can also ping ChatGPT, and get the same, thing done multiple times to capture ideas, to do things. So I'm going to just copy paste this right here. Um, as you can see, this, I think it's done writing code. Yeah, it's done. It is done. So now I, can create a PR, raise a PR as well on GitHub. But first, I'm going to ask it to do something specific. Let's take a look at the files it created. Okay, what I need is a README file. Can you add a super crisp readme.md with instructions on how to run the code, right? Because when I download the code on my system, I want to know how to run the code. It's still working since 6 minutes. It's going on. Like this, I have seen agents go for 6 hours, is what I meant, and they can do long horizon works, right? Let's look at this quickly. This will be ready soon. So the idea of prototyping was put something in hands of your customers, talk fast, because people often share ideas, but now our team is talking in prototypes. For example, marketing team made a prototype of an app that they wanted us to build, and then design team took that prototype, so it came from marketing team, completely a prototype built on Lovable, and then it went to design team, and then it went back to marketing team, and in between it went to sales team, a whole bunch of other teams, and in the end we had 5 to 7 prototypes, all with really good ideas, and we were able to then bring it to one single prototype that had all these ideas combined. Some of them were also shown to customers. We didn't actually have to build the app, we just had to build the outer shell so we could test the ideas. This was what everybody wanted to do. For the first time in the world, in the history of tech, this is possible, this is actually doable. And Let's see if this works. I hope GPT 5.5 will not disappoint us this time. It disappointed us this time. Okay. Um, Claude has a special ability now that it can, render UI right here. So we will most likely see a Notes app built right here. Oh, crazy. It's saying I can just click on the new note right here and it will just work. Let's see. Once it's done responding. MDX. Yeah, I think that is. This is it. It'll ask you questions. You can answer if you want to. You can say no as well. All right. Let's let them cook. So in fact, now the new rule because of this prototyping, sense in our team is do not go to engineering team till you have a prototype. So now we go to our engineering team with the prototype and specs together, which has completely changed the way we function. And that is kind of how we took the journey. That is where it started, and then eventually we have a team who is capable of shipping app without too much help from engineering team, which is not the main goal. The main goal is to move fast and put ideas in front of customers fast. That is what how business is trying to leverage the AI speed. So prototyping changes couple of things because the chances of you building the wrong thing reduces drastically, because everybody has seen and talked and used the software and extensively spoken about it. We'll have to keep going and checking on them because we never know when they are done and built. Okay, this one is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a PR and I will click that button. All right, I can now view that PR on GitHub. This is the code that it wrote. I can see the code right here. I can do a code review, or at this point, or I have better idea. How about we get another AI agent who specializes in code review to do the code review? One of them is CodeRabbit. I have the free version of CodeRabbit. It's really good, and it's already on the job. All right, waiting for status to be reported, review in progress. So CodeRabbit I have already installed, so I can get that up and running. In fact, I can request Copilot, GitHub Copilot, to also do code review. And I'm going to just do that. You can see reviewers, and I will request for a review. And there you go. Now Copilot should be on the job as well. There you go. There was a status change that usually happens. One pending review, there you go. It was added. Okay. So eventually both of them are going to read the code and give me comments right here. And the comments are very detailed and very interesting. The first thing it does is gives you a summary of what was changed, and then it goes on to do other things. I can also, by the way, tag CodeX here. If you have Cursor, you should be able to tag Cursor as well, depending. But it's called Bugbot for Cursor. I have not installed that because like I find CodeRabbit much better. But we will have code review in no time. It is good as an augmentation, like as an additional review apart from a human being. But if the application is important, I would expect a human to also participate in the code review. Looks like Opus is done. Yeah, looks like it is done. And now here also I'm going to ask it to raise a pull request. Oh, we have the button right there. I can create another PR, and let's create it. So we have two apps being built in parallel, one by Claude, one by CodeX. And now I can view this PR as well. And as usual, CodeRabbit is already on the job. We can invite, Copilot, or there's a way to invite CodeX as well, but I don't know why that is not working right now. Oh, my rate limit got exceeded, so we'll not get review for this, unfortunately. But we'll get review for other things. Let's see if we got any reviews. What are PR abbreviation for pull request? It is right here, pull request. Okay, it'll take some time, it looks like, for us to get review. Let's see if it gave us any. No, it has not given us any reviews so far. All right, because I'm on free account, it can take a while, but usually these agents will finish up even before a human being gets time. When you actually want code review, how busy the other person gets.
Lambo
And
action.
now what I want to do is, while the code review etc happens, I want to figure out how to bring this code to my system and run it. Do you folks want to see that? Do you folks want to see that, me bringing and running this code on my system? Should we try that? Awesome. So I'm going to open GitHub app. This is the GitHub app, and I'm going to add a repository. My bad. There you go. And looks like I can clone it. Okay, now we have this repository ready, but there'll be nothing in it because there's a pull request pending and all of these branches are pending. So maybe I can pull in this branch, and I now have this branch. Now I'll have to run this code, for which I will go to terminal. Okay, you don't, I mean, there are other ways as well, but let's get familiarized with terminal because it's actually easier than UI.
Huh?
Or you can just
देव बोलेगा
pretend to be a hacker if you feel uncomfortable, but
एक
we write
एक
commands
लीटर
here,
छाछ
and that is how it works. So first
અને
I'm going to
500
go
લી
into the
તો 90
folder
રૂપિયા
where
કઈ
I
ના થાય
created this, which is notes April 26. So I'm going to go to cd notes, right? It is at the wrong place. It is at the wrong place. I put it in the wrong place, unfortunately. Let me fix that. And that should do it. Once again, I'll switch to CodeX branch. And now this should work. There you go. Awesome. Now I don't know how to run this one. So either I can try to figure that out. Maybe, npm run dev. Maybe that is a command. Usually that is the one. Okay, not found. Instead,
જસ
what
આવે
I
ને
can do is, maybe I
બહાર
need
આવે
to do
ને
pnpm install.
55
Who will sit and figure it out? This is where I love AI agents. So instead of me trying to figure it out, what I can do at this point, this was done by CodeX and Claude. So I can just bring CodeX and Claude and ask them to set this up. In fact, that's what I'm going to do right here in front of you. First, using CodeX app, and then I will use Claude app for the Claude things. This is CodeX app. First, I'm going to add the project, which is this icon right here, and use an existing folder. This is the one, and I will open that. So it got added. This is from our cloud. I will start a new chat, and we don't need 5.5 high for this. So I will use a cheaper model to save on. In fact, 5.4 mini is also enough. Can you set up the repository, get the app running so I can test it? You can see this is CodeX's branch, the same branch I pushed and is in PR. And we will ask now the model to figure out and run this entire system for us. Just by the way, this is new way of looking at IDE. Agent takes the main stage. You can even hide. This looks like ChatGPT. It still has your other stuff. For example, you can open the terminal right here. I can actually open the terminal right here and do stuff from here as well. You can see I'm in the same folder. I can close the terminal. I can browse around my files, change files or all files, the entire directory. And I can look at, it has inbuilt browser. So we should be able to ask it to run the app and open it right here. So this is how, the new way of building, what do you call it? Using AI to build stuff is happening. Like I'm pretty excited about it, honestly speaking, because it's completely new paradigm, like, how people are working, etc. All right. I will close this for now. The installation is still running. Is it like VS Code IDE? Yes. Will it work on Chromebook? It could. So what's the most efficient way to implement an automated reviewer agent for pull requests? Use GitHub Actions workflow. The best way is to give your reviewer agent a sandbox where it could execute the code, and the closer an AI agent is to actual code and its ability to run it, the better its performance, whether it's reviewing or doing anything else. Right now I'm in a single folder. I could now use a work tree. Work tree is slightly more complex, so I will not get into it, but I can have 4 or 5 parallel agents. If I'm willing to spend more money, I can have 4 or 5 agents running parallelly on the same code base, building different features, and then another agent can figure out how to merge them together, right? Claude Code, by the way, I'm going to open Claude Code as well. They have an app for it. In fact, this is the app that works. You can see here, this is the chat that we were having on the cloud, but I'm not a big fan of this particular app. In fact, the best place to experience Claude Code is in the CLI, which is right here. And I've already installed it, so I will just type Claude and hit enter. This is the first time project, so it will ask me for permissions. And there you go, Claude is up and running. And now I can ask Claude to do stuff here as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you get, including MCPs. MCP can help you connect. For example, it can connect with my Figma to get designs. It can connect with my Granola to get notes, linear to read user stories, or it can actually use my computer if I enable it, and that way it will be able to open Chrome and actually test out stuff. This is available, by the way, on GPT as well. Both of them have it. It's starting the next server on 3000 port. Let's see if it works. Okay, not yet working. Let's open the command that's running. Is blocked in this environment. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
I don't know about you folks. I have actually become more comfortable with CLI after AI, because I see the commands so many times that they are ingrained in my head. Earlier, I tried learning them, and that never happened. But yeah, in this case, I can actually run that command myself. I can just open it right here, and all we have to do is just remove the host. Oh, no such directory.
You want to do? Please go.
Okay, finally it's running. It looks like. There you go. We have the note-taking app running. This one is by CodeX. I am giving it a title, and this can be marked down. I hope it gets saved automatically. Yeah, it does get saved. So we have a very basic app right here working. I can add another note. This is another note. Right. And that makes 2 notes. Now you can get into the code and start building it up, etc. And why CLI? We have AI. I'm not sure about the question. Recording this session will be available. Okay, I thought there are some other questions. Where are the resources, recording, etc. Okay, home will take care of that. So we have one version of this app working. I'm pretty sure whatever Claude design would be better than this. And this brings me to back to the entire piece that I wanted to show you earlier. Oh, by the way, I can open. I told you they have inbuilt browser, so the app will open here as well. And if I see an issue, an error, I can just literally ping using these buttons to CodeX, so I don't have to leave here as well. Hello, and let's go back. Is this marked down? I don't think it is marked down. Can I add one more note? Yeah. All right. So this is roughly one app. Very similarly, we can have other apps going on around with us as well. I will stop this this one from running. And now what I will do is I will check out different Git branch. Oh, things changed. I think I will have to add a get ignore. In fact, let me ask it to add it. Can you add a get ignore for next TS based projects? Because these I am not supposed to, I'm not made any changes to the code. Ideally speaking, it should not have. And all of this we don't usually commit. What I'm going to do after that is I'm going to switch the branch from here to the one that was created by Claude, and then I can ask Claude or Codex, either one, or even a third AI agent to set it up so I can test it out. I can also have multiple Docker instances, so I can run 5 of them in parallel and test all of them out as well. It's almost like having your own software engineering team. Um, there you go. We have get ignore and some things were updated. I can probably commit that. And now I will switch to the other branch, the Claude branch. Now I'm going to ask Claude to set it up. Can you set up the code base and run it so I can test it? Same thing will apply here. I actually don't need Opus for it, but hey, whatever. We'll go with it right now. It's a little more expensive to ask Opus to do such basic stuff, but yeah, it will get us sorted. I can allow it.
Good day.
Usually, I have parallel of them running, and they have something called work tree. Okay, it's running. Let's check it out. It's running on the same port. Let's refresh. I don't see any app. Okay. And Claude has done a do-do. We'll send the error back to Claude, and it should be able to fix it. It's because the package installations are different. Don't use npm, by the way. In case you work in TypeScript world, use bun. If you have not discovered bun, your life will change, and you will force your team to upgrade as well. They are not paying me to say this; they're just that good. Okay, looks like it's installed. I think I will have to kill it in background. Give me the command to run it. Still not running. All right, it's asking me to run npm run dev, and I will just do exactly that. Okay, it's running on 3000. Please work. Come on, Opus. You can do it. If it's taking this, okay. Very similar design, surprisingly, but subtle nuance you will see are different from. Can you check, can you see how different these things are between Opus? Like the level of understanding of design with Opus is unparalleled. Hello, this is a note. And here, when I write actual markdown, like I can do a headline, I can do a quotation mark, I can do a list that looks like this. We can do these as well. All right, I hope that makes sense. Can you see how like they're so close, they were so close in design, but look at the finesse and the level of sophistication that Claude will bring to the table. And it's specifically about design, so I can add another note. And you would remember there was no spacing in between on uh, that one's design, like Codex's design. So they have their subtle differences. So what we just did, folks, is we built. Oh, by the way, we did not even check the prototype. This is our prototype. Also is ready. Hopefully. Okay, the prototype died. Looks like. Now it created an app for me. Okay, never mind. I think it misunderstood the prompt. And what we just did, folks, I want to quickly revise for you. We took 2 different AI agents and one simple idea. that I want a basic note taker where I can write notes. Okay, so there was an app to write notes. We now have not one but two such apps. Okay, by two different agents. One is Claude Code, one is CodeX, and right now, so far with landing page and everything, it might seem like Opus is the better one. And I keep reminding you that when it comes to design, yes, Claude Code and Opus are still the winner. The kind of design that you can get from Claude, etc., is not nearly possible with Codex. But when it comes to code quality, when it comes to following instructions, when it comes to solving complex problems, and writing decent code, I would not say the best code in the world. That is where Codex wins, in my understanding. In fact, I can try and walk you through the code if you have the patience for it. But in my opinion, if you want good code written, you go to Codex, and if you want something properly designed, you go to Claude. And usually we want both. So what I can do is I can ask Codex to build the app, the functionality, so it will work. Write good code, and then ask Claude to design it. That is completely possible. Okay, I can totally do that. In fact, you know what? Let us do that, but let's do that in two places. I'm going to once again switch my branch, and I'm going to go back to what. In fact, let we can continue right here because Codex already, Claude has a better starting point. So I'm going to continue right here, and now I'm going to take it into a plan mode, which I can do by shift like this, or I can just simply say /plan, and the plan mode will become on. Now I will ask it to design it properly. Use shadcn components, design properly. Let's give it a font name, and I want to introduce you folks to the last bit, which is a skill. MCP tools. I hope you folks know. How many of you know about skills and what skills are? Any idea, folks, what skills are? Yes, no? 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 Okay. So skills are like documentation, like knowledge. They are basically a bunch of markdown files, which is rich text files, okay, which can contain instructions or whatever. So they are markdown files. And you have to be careful because they can have executable code as well. So be careful while using someone else's skill or downloading it. You can look at skills in Claude app. If I go to customize, you can see skills right here on, and these are the skills that are available. Some are made by Anthropic, and some are added by me. If I click here and browse, one of the most popular skills that makes Claude design so well is front-end skill of Anthropic. I don't think it's listed here for some reason, but these are the ones that are by Anthropic, and I can add more. Okay. In fact, what I'm going to do is there is already a skill called Firas Sans, which is a font. There is Space Grotex, which is another font. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to use this skill, and what it contains is how to use this font, how to properly design it, um, some specifics around it. So you don't have to keep repeating it in your prompt. What this does is it allows you a consistency, rules, application. Like let's say you want only functional code written, you can put that in a skill, right? And make sure that that is how it behaves. We can check if skills are available. I will check for Space Grotesque. I don't think this is available. Let's look at skills. All right, these are all the skills that I have available. I am going to check if, okay, this one is not available, the one that I want. Thankfully, what I can do is I can, there is a website called skill.sh. If you want to find popular skill, you can go to this website and you will find a whole bunch of them. But be careful, please be careful, because they can have executable script inside them, which can execute arbitrary code. So security is the onus is on you. And what I have is I have a bunch of skills that I've created for myself, and they're all in my local repository already. There are a whole bunch of them because I was experimenting with skills a lot. Let me show you those skills, and if you want, at the end of the session, I can share the all the skills with you folks. Okay. Nope, this is not it. Where are skills? There you go. These are all the skills that I have, and they're all like, most of them I prompted AI to write. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy one of them to my project so it can use it. I'm going to use space grotesque typography. Let me quickly unpack that. Okay, this already exists.
Okay.
Never mind.
Huh?
And
Dude,
how I'm going to
dude.
do that is like, a symbolic link. If you don't know what that means, that's all right. There are other easier ways to do this as well.
Huh?
Site skills, and I have space grotesque. Okay, and I'm going to copy that over to my project. Before I do that, I think I'll have to do this, and now I can run the. I'm just copying the skills over so my Claude can access it. There you go. And now if I restart Claude, now I should be able to see space grotesque. There you go. Space grotesque typography. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to say, can you design this app properly? Give it a dark mode, and use textures. And I'm also going to add front end design. Use your front end design skill. I'm going to enter in plan mode. And plan mode is super powerful. If you're not using plan mode, you're leaving a lot on the table. And one of the ways that I have learned to optimize usage of AI is one of the super secrets is definitely skills. This is 100%. You need to be now. What we do is earlier design team used to review each landing page. Now we have a skill for our landing pages, so they are designed properly as per our brand, and that was created by the design team. Okay, like that engineering team has one that can help you implement login and a whole bunch of things. So skills are transferable knowledge, and we create a lot of them and share a lot of them, and you can find more on skills.sh. But be please, once again I'm repeating, please be careful because it can have arbitrary code execution as well. So skills is one, definitely a big time secret. Second, big secret that I definitely want you to pay attention to is the plan mode. Every AI agent that writes code will have a plan mode. The reason for planning is because what you think you're prompting and what AI understands out of it will be very, very different things. And the more time I spend on correcting the plan, making sure the plan is, I understand the plan and it works, the better output I get at the end. So I don't have to keep debugging it, right? It is much better an outcome like that. Um, right. So that is the idea of plan mode, and keep going. Like, you can keep asking it to refine the plan again and again and again till you're satisfied. And if you're not satisfied here, definitely you're not going to get the code which satisfies you. So, review it and refine. And usually what happens is, for serious things, I end up refining it 3-4 times before I allow it and ask it to actually work on the plan. But plan mode is super powerful, especially with Opus. You don't want to leave this on the table. And the last thing that I want to share with you is actually not a it's not a let me show you actually. How many of you know about Claude.md and agents.md? How many of you know about it? Yes. Yes. Okay. If you don't know, at the core of each repository, like say on I'm on GitHub, and I am on, let's look at this one. By the way, our code review is ready. It has given us potential issue major. It has given us full code review, but that is not the important thing today. Let me go to the code and show you what I mean. I will switch the branch. So these are all my code files. This is my project. At the root of my project, I should be adding an agents.md or a claude.md file. In that file, I will put all the context I want AI model to have. Think of it as the agent, like whichever agent that you use, the memory that you want to give it. This is a long-term memory about the project that you want to give it. So I will put a whole bunch of things here. For example, I'll put the context of the project. Okay. And I will often put, what is the infra, like backend, what do we use in backend, what do we use in front end, right? Third thing, I will give it code, guidelines. What kind of code do I want, etc. For example, I have forbidden. There are two examples I can give you on code guidelines. The two that always go in my front end, if I'm using front end TypeScript, etc. The first one is use effect is forbidden. Everybody abuses it. Like if there's a legitimate time to use effect, I would know and I would ask it, but this is outright forbidden because it will abuse it. It's not like use effect is not for making your API call. Let's put it that simple. Most people will use it that way. However, second rule that I ask it to, never overrule is never write a file longer than 250 lines of code. This is a secret as well. The moment, I don't know how many times you're focused, you keep asking AI to do such a simple thing, just fix that bug, but it's not able to do that. Human beings, for like, I remember when we used to, like, among I used to code just with humans, there were some files that were 3-4 thousand lines of code, and there was a reason to keep all of that in the same thing. Now you might think putting all the code in one file will be amazing because it will give AI context, but what happens is it starts to struggle a lot. It will fail to edit, it will make mistakes, it will not be able to fix simple bugs. This simple idea that every file in my code base needs to be smaller than this actually makes AI 10 times more effective and saves a ton of token. So if you're struggling with AI, the moment your code base grows, trim down the files and refactor it to less than 2 lines of code, and you will already see AI outshine, right? So this is one rule that goes in there. Then I use a special rule. Okay. And that special rule tells me whether AI is listening to me or not. At times it will look like it's listening to me, but it's actually not. And I will show you how you can make sure. Imagine, like, you were chatting with Claude right here. By the way, Claude has presented us the plan. This is the full plan. This is how it will redesign. It will create the CSS file. This is the CSS that it will put in there. This is how it will load, what do you call it? I think the font and space grotesque related typography. In fact, I want to keep, I want to show you this before, like, I allow it to change the design. Remember this design, and we are now going to ask it to completely change the design. All right. I did not completely go through the plan, but ideally one should. Imagine I'm talking to AI. I, have some rules. What if there was a way for me to get a signal from this plan that it actually took care of all my rules? Would you like that? Would like to know that, like, if I have rules written in my claude.md, etc., that it actually was adhering to all of these, right? And the secret to that, folks, I want to tell you is a very simple idea. You ask it for odd things that will catch your attention. Let me show you one claude.md in such a project. This is one of my claude.md from one of my projects. Okay. And all of this is, by the way, handwritten. All of this is manually handwritten. Another thing I want to, like, flag to you folks is, how do you prompt your AI? It's a big secret. How do you prompt your AI? But this is all handwritten. You will see, use of use effect is forbidden, that I already told you. And you will notice an interesting thing. I don't think uh, okay, this is an older version. Probably I can show you on the latest version. um, and I will show you on data, right? There you go. And here you will see, folks, the way I get to know that AI is actually paying attention to me in between all the rules. You can see here, this is the project. This is the backend. I use UV Python. This is bun and front end, etc. This is the project structure. This is all that goes in an agent.md. It will change the quality of code that you get. There are some code patterns that I do not allow. For example, I have forbidden my AI from writing code comments because it writes terrible comments. Okay, and one of the things that you will notice here. Let me zoom in a little more. Can you read this? Randomly in between code rules, there is one rule that says you must address me as Sid guys and whatever, like some name, some odd name. The idea is that if it actually read through these rules and if it was applying them, it will call me this odd name that I will instantly notice, and I know that it is roughly following my rules. And multiple times I have caught Claude where it did not call me the name that I asked it to call me in that repository, and I could, like, usually that means I'm going to get bad quality code output. Usually that is what it means. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I know that it's going actually listening to me. Let me quickly show you that. um, what is this project about? Just a casual question I'm asking. It is not, can you see it's not calling me that? It is not calling me that. Okay, and in fact now I'm going to bring CodeX here and see if this test works on CodeX. But I think this is the repository. I can start a chat here. Same repo. I will use a smaller model and ask it, what is this project about? Same project, by the way. That was just terminal. This is uh, you know this data project, and same here. Let's see if it calls me that name. Usually Codex is much better at following instructions than Opus. Opus is just too excited for doing things. There you go. The first word that you will see is that name that I asked it to call me. And Codex rarely fails. That is how faithful it is in prompt understanding, etc. This is 5.5 high, which is even better. And if I forcefully include claw.md and then ask it, what is this project about? Hopefully that should enforce it, and it should start addressing me as that. There you go. Finally it has used that name. Can you read? Such a simple idea, but it sudden when the moment I notice it's not calling me that, I know that it is going off the track. Super simple idea. Okay, but works very, very effectively. Another thing that I put in my claw.md, which you may find very useful, is
sir.
this idea. What happens is, I've noticed, I've read people's prompts, I've read people's pages
Hello,
worth of
hello.
prompts. What people do is,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
the biggest mistake you can do is you go to ChatGPT and tell it what you want and ask it to write a prompt. Take that prompt, give it to Cursor, give it to Codex. Have you done that? Have you done that, folks? Any of you? Have you used an AI to prompt your AI? Yes. If you have done that, please stop it. Do not do that. Okay. Do not use AI to prompt AI, especially for code writing. For code writing, it is the worst thing you can do to your code base. You're going to get unlimited slop, poor quality code, and not really what you wanted. And this is kind of how the final layer of how you fall in this trap. I'm almost close to the finish line, but never there. Okay. In fact, I would say what I've discovered is two things. I have given up control of a lot of code to the AI agent. What I maintain control over is two things. Okay. One is documentation, and I handwrite it because it helps me think. If you ask AI to write it, it is going to be a disaster. Okay, so I don't write code now, I write docs, which is actually much better because it helps me think. And the second thing I maintain is the prompts. These are written by me. In fact, voice is my favorite feature in every app. Here also they have record button. I can click on record. It'll start recording. How many of you have ever sent a, what do you call it? A blabbering voice note to your friend. Like you start talking about one topic, then you're talking to your friend, and suddenly you go on second topic, then third topic, and suddenly next thing you know, there is a 5 minute voice note for your friend. Do the same thing with your AI. Just give it a try. You will get actually much better. Okay, it failed and it lost my audio as well. OpenAI needs to, like, this only happened with Codex code, like Claude earlier. I don't know why it's happening with Codex, but long story short, folks, give it brain dump. Okay, I call this technique the best way to prompt AI. This is the worst way. The best way to prompt AI is brain dump, and the best way to give a brain dump to AI is just blabber and use voice, because when you type, you're very structured in this thing. I've realized I give a lot more context. I I'm more thoughtful when I'm speaking, and I just record myself. I take that and give it to the AI. It's much better prompting than asking another AI to write the prompt. Trust me, the moment you change these couple of things, the kind of experience that you can get out of AI is insane, right? And this is the most counterintuitive thing, because most people believe AI can be used to write prompt. You can, but you're going to get terrible, output in code quality. And just let's take a look what this one is doing. Okay, I think oh no, this is not the repo. This is the repo. I'm going to quickly refresh and see if it changed anything. Oh, there you go. Design is changed already. The font is changed. The design is changed. I don't know. I hope you folks like it better than what we had earlier. Let me try and write something here. There are some bugs uh, that need to be fixed, but overall, it is interesting. This is a bug that I will need to get fixed. But here we have a brand new design. All right. And Opus is still working on it, by the way. It's not done working on it. Just like that, I can, whenever I want to bring in design, I want to change UI, I want to get deeper into it, I bring out Claude. I want to do planning, I bring out Claude. I want to do code review, I bring out Claude. For writing code, executing code, I usually am relying on Codex. And there is, these are not the only ones. I would totally give an honorary mention to Open Code. Open Code is a harness, and this is where AI agents run. And I will quickly show you Open Code. This is what Open Code looks like. They have an app as well. And what I have is a cheap Chinese, LLM, which is smart enough, not as smart as Sonnet, but smart enough to do basic things. And that is part of the ZAI coding plan. They have some free models as well. So if you go here, you will see these two are free. They usually have a couple of free models, running on Open Code, because companies come to them for promotions. You can add your own as well. You can connect your other stuff with, Olama, or what do you call it, LM Studio, etc. as well. Open Code is a very interesting harness because it can bring all the agents together. And at times, I have preferred Open Code as well. So do give it a try. And usually, all kind of, like, agents work better here. But the last honorary mention I would give, which is good harness where I have had great experience, is Factory AI or Droid. The special thing I noticed about Factory, AI Android is it is more reliable than anything else in terms of AI will always do these steps in this order. And usually it is the least token using, because when you get into the subscription plans, you have limited tokens available. And in Factory.ai, the $20 plan that they have, I would struggle to finish it, which has never happened, because they don't pollute AI's context window with a lot of tokens. They do a lot of things behind the scenes to optimize it. So these are a couple of tools that you may, will encounter, and the real deal is the model and the software together, which allows AI to do any of this that we are seeing right here. Looks like it is done. I can refresh it. I mean, that was the final version. I can take a screenshot of this and get it fixed. But long story short, you folks use, I can show you it redesigning this entire thing without the skills as well. But that would take like a longer time. But the moment you use skill versus not use a skill, you will see a drastic difference. And usually, if you're not a front end engineer, you can ask your front end team to write skills for you, so you can integrate with front end. The reverse can be done with back end. Both front end and back end team can do that with DevOps, and the entirety of the team can do with QA and design team. So all of these are options. We literally have a working app, in fact, two working apps right in front of you, and that is the power, folks, of where AI agents are today. In fact, usually I would have one project that I slowly worked on over the course of a year or years, and one personal project where I'm building some software for myself. That is how it used to be. So it would be bunch of years. Let's say about there was one project I was working on for 3 years because I was slow at writing code and I had to think a lot. Okay, and this all these 3 years I did one project. Right now, folks, I have hundreds of projects, majority of them for myself. I've never written this much code or gotten AI to write this much code in my life. And all these software are little experiments, sometimes building to solve my own problem, helping out team in some way or fashion, or building directly for the customers. In fact, just to give you a quick glimpse of how much of a drastic change it is, it is not proof of writing good code, but it is definitely proof of how much time I'm spending writing code. This was my graph in 2021. You will see like one some like every year once, there will be 1 month where I'm obsessed with writing code, and this is this year and 2025. I've never ever written like this amount of code ever, and had so much fun learning and writing code, because not everything had to be shipped. Sometimes I just had to see, how a software can be written, and at times AI wrote completely bad code, but because I saw the bad version of it, I was able to improve and make the better version of it. Um, it has finally made like the fun. It brought the fun back in software, where I have an idea on Friday night, and by Sunday I have a working prototype, right? And this is what we do casually, but you can imagine what deep impact it will have on engineers and software engineering. uh, Lines are blurring. Software, like sales is writing software, software is doing DevOps, design is doing software, like everything is mixed up, which is great in my opinion, because it allows everybody to contribute. At the same time, what it has done is it has given even more edge to software professionals, because like if any of you know, let's say for example, embedded systems, right? You can do hardware stuff. Now imagine the kind of stuff you can do with AI agents because you have that knowledge. So software engineers are even more powerful. Let me give you an example. How many of you remember these old Game Boys or things like these PlayStation kind of thing, where you had this cassette, gaming cassette that we had to clean and put in? Anyone remembers that? Anyone remembers that? Do you folks remember this? Okay. Did you know this entire cartridge was basically 64 kbs, or roughly that storage? Okay. And do you know 64 kbs literally Claude and ChatGPT can hold in their memory? So for the first time, you can actually bring out emulators. There are emulators for Game Boy, Nintendo Switch, old consoles. Because they use such little memory, you can actually run these games on your laptop and get Claude to run them and build completely new games. And AI is so good at that kind of thing. You can write scripts and CLIs in Rust, even though you don't know Rust. You can I have literally like build so many Swift apps and whole bunch of like automations on my own Mac using AI agents. There's no end to where this stops. In fact, my recent adventure, I would say, with AI code is I am literally writing machine learning experimental code where I'm training my own model to on a specific task, and that all I do is I look at the maths, look at the structure, look at the plan, and entire code is written by AI, and it works. It actually is making a progress. In fact, if you want to dig more about it, you can look at Andrej, Parvati's. It's called, I think, Auto Research Agent, if I'm not mistaken, which basically is a great project if you want to dive into that. There are a whole bunch of such projects that are coming up, and a new world has opened up where people are building tools for each other, not just final software, like in between tools. And I'm super excited about that. All right. With that, folks, I will close it towards the end. Quickly, we'll do a quick revision before we close. A quick revision of all the concepts that we spoke about. Yes, you folks want that? All right. We saw with just one landing page how AI can write code, and it has made code so cheap. We had two landing pages, not one. We had two note-taking app, not one. In fact, I was talking to you folks. Otherwise, I could have prompted five different AIs and gotten five different app versions as well. For the first time, shipping something in front of customers, building prototype, these are realities, and are actually changing business and bottom lines and margins and whatnot for the first time. And second thing that is changing the dynamics of engineering team, design team, and what they spend time on. It is changing where people spend time on what code gets human attention, because not all code needs human attention equally. And in completely different paradigms,
खोल दी
people are
जाता है
able to
इतने पाँच
punch
टका
above
देवा
their
था
weights. There are few tips that I want you to share with all of you, the summary of in summary of all of them. There are certain models and certain apps which are really good. These four, I think, are the best. Among them, Claude is, and especially Opus 4.6 and Opus 4.7, is really, really, really good at design. It is unmatched. I have not seen a rival. I think GPT-5 used to be a better rival, but that's like, they took it away from us. And CodeX is really good at code quality. If you care about code quality, give CodeX a try once. It's totally worth it. Use skills and to for example, you wanted to follow documentation so it doesn't have errors, just put it in skills. Create your own skills, share skills with your team. We share them a lot. And use plan mode and keep asking it to refine the plan till you're 100% satisfied. You're going to get much better output in quality of code. Use Claude.md and agents.md in every project. Make it a part of the GitHub repo. Have rules there, etc. Use that trick of using a name, so it's reading and following that. For example, cursor right now will not work because they have a bug since about 2 months. I know because of this trick, because there, unless I tag Claude.md, no agent will call me that name. So I know it's been broken, and that's why I get bad quality output from cursor now than I used to. So God, like, and they are so precious. I would write each rule as I experience the AI and what mistakes it's making. Do not get AI to write this. It is better you don't put a Claude.md, agent.md, rather than asking an AI to write it. In fact, getting an AI to prompt another AI, especially if your code is such a bad idea, that I'm literally saying, like, don't do it. Like, there is no reason for you to do it. In fact, just half say with less energy, whatever brain dump that you want to give, talk like just like you would to a friend, like you're sending a voice message, and you will get much better output. Maintain documentation yourself. When AI writes documentation, they are yappers, they have verbal diarrhea, so they will just make a whole bunch of mess out of it. So documentation, Claude.md is written by me by hands. Everything else is written by AI agents, and it's crazy the kind of software that you can build. I hope that was helpful to you. Now let us take questions.
Yeah, I think Siddharth, you could take about a good 5 minutes break.
Yes,
Right,
I'll take
I
a break.
have a
Thanks.
couple things because I saw questions coming in. So
Yeah, I just quickly need to have water, etc. I'll back.
okay, perfect. Yeah, folks, the poll is on. Very quickly, right? Also in the chat, how did you like this so far? I'll also share you something that a lot of you asked. Do we have more initiatives and what are they? Let me quickly tell you that, right? Perfect. So today's idea was how can we help you become 10x version of yourself, right? A lot of you are from engineers background. Some people are also from non-engineers background. But the whole idea, as you saw, how do you go from a manual setup to an AI assisted way of doing it, right? And we took an example of code because that's the most sort of measurable way to sort of see which model is working better and how you should get onboarded, right? So how exactly do you orchestrate between these tools? You saw how we used CodeX, we used Cloud Code, we spoke about open code, we also sort of spoke slightly about cursor at the end of it. And that's what we wanted to show you and give you more clarity. These kind of workshops are something that we keep on doing whenever a new update comes in. A lot of you saw a video on our socials and came to learn CodeX as well, right? So that's what we continuously keep on doing this, right? So you'll keep on getting these announcements of the new workshops that we consistently do. But along with that, we also have something very interesting, right? And we only have barely scratched the surface today. Imagine how about Siddharth working with you to help you build these apps, build your systems in AI, right? No matter which background you come from. So do you want to quickly learn more tools, use cases, workflows, and frameworks specifically to what your domain would be? You want to learn more? What are the kind of things that you should look at, go deeper at, how you should get onboarded to AI systems and build that, right? ChatGPT came in about 2022, but today every new model has been coming in almost a week or a month's time, and the way of working with AI has also changed, right? A lot of you already asked, right? We were taught that why don't you sort of use AI to build AI, but today you saw thought a new way to sort of interact with AI to give it a brain dump, right? So guess what? If you give us one whole weekend of yours, we can help you go from 0 to 1 in your AI journey. And how about how exactly we are going to do that? We at Outskill have built something that will truly get you started in the journey of becoming AI native, right? Definitely, a lot of you are AI first since you're part of our community and consistently active in learning. But how do you become AI native and see measurable outcomes in your work on a daily basis? Super excited to introduce to the Generative AI Engineers Bootcamp. Which is normally priced at 25K. There's a special price that will be revealed soon at the end of the end of about next 5 minutes, which you will not be able to believe. The special price is in fact in less than 5K or less than $100 also. But very quickly, it's a 20-hour live event where we teach you everything to help you go from 0 to 1, right? And there are massive surprises coming in for people who get in, right? Can I take about 5 minutes of time to quickly tell you more about the program? Then we'll come to questions. Do I have your 5 minutes? Yes, no, in the chat quickly. Okay, okay, perfect. Perfect. Let's do this. Super excited once again to introduce you to Generative AI Engineers Bootcamp. For everybody who's here, who is this bootcamp for? Targeted towards? Who is this curated for? If you are a developer, if you are a data scientist, DevOps engineer, AI, ML, product manager, cybersecurity, cloud infra, every professional who today is in tech or wants to transition to use AI as their ultimate unfair advantage. If you are someone who's also a non-tech profession but was able to understand 50% of things today, this is for you also, right? This generative AI bootcamp is created to take you from a script kiddie to just typing prompts and sort of working with AI to just building MVPs to take you to an intermediate level to sort of how do you sort of work when it hits a bottleneck, right? Give us one weekend of yours and you will know more about generative AI applications in your work than 95% of the world around you. Not only in your office, your building, but the entire city, right? And 2 days is here how it looks like, right? 2 days of generative engineers bootcamp. Let me show you what specifically we are going to do once you get in, right? Day one, we focus on developer productivity and AI agents, which is the first session talks about AI assisted coding with Copilot, Cursor, and Claude. We also talk about GitHub along with live demos of how you can go deeper inside it. Prompt engineering patterns that every engineer should know today. How do you also accelerate code reviews, debugging, and documentation? Today it was a tight 1 hour, slightly 1 hour, right, to show you what it is possible. But in this session, you'll not only learn, but build with us as well. After every session, there's going to be a breakout activity about good 30 minutes where you can build your own project, where in this case, we'll build Deep Wiki, which is how you point to any GitHub repository and it can auto-generate architecture, docs, README API references, and also are able to share this and build the whole project repo. That's one. Second session on day one, where we go deeper into AI agents and agentic AI. We look at what are the four pillars of building an agent. What exactly is agentic AI workflows? We look at what are the different features, example, memory of agent, tools of agent. How do you give it access to sort of connect with multiple tools and execute it, which is planning and autonomy, right? Agentic frameworks in practice, for example, LangGraph, Crow AI, tool calling. They use Composio and a lot more others, which are MCP frameworks, agentic workflows in the wild, which is how companies are actually adopting these frameworks and how they are seeing the benefit so that you have not only the learning but have a project. After this session, you'll build your own perplexity like deep research tool. For example, designing a perplexity like search synthesis loop along with able to stream live results with citations in real time. And that's just day one. When we come back to day two, right, you might have already covered a lot of these tools already before day two, right? We go deep into GitHub, Copilot, Cursor, Cloud Code. We look at ChatGPT, Codex, LangChain, LangGraph, Crew AI, Tavily, Exa. It might look like a lot, but you all will be using it and building things on top of it. Day two is where we go deeper into orchestration of agentic AI workflows, building multi-agent systems, and also introduction and building a small RAG. So you have a close understanding of it. The first session, as I said, goes deep dive into orchestration, multi-agent systems. What is an AI agent and what exactly is a team of AI agent? Imagine you are able to build a team of your marketing people or team of engineers. That's what exactly a multi-agent system talks about. Now, it's a oversimplified version of it, but how orchestration works is what we cover: routing, state management, agent handoff, along with designing these multi-agent pipelines. How do you set up roles? How do you communicate? And how failure is handled? For example, if you have a team of AI agents, how do they communicate with each other? How does a front-end engineer know that we also have a back-end engineer in the team? How do they collaborate? How do they share memory? Because context window is limited. That's where the graph protocol comes in. And that's exactly why we also show you what exactly engineering tools teams use in production today and how the workflow can simplify it. You don't only learn, as I said, build an AI team that writes and tests code in the second day, the first breakout activity. You'll spin up an orchestrator, planner, coder, and tester agent, a four agent working alongside together, wiring agents together so that they can pass sort of context between each other and do the work for you, where you will be running a real coding task end to end through the entire team in about 30 minutes of that breakout. And you will be doing this along with us. Session two, day two, where we go deep into RAGs. What exactly is a RAG? Why ChatGPT is not a RAG and what exactly differentiates it? Right? What is a chunking framework? What are the strategies of chunking? How exactly embeddings are formed? How do you look at vector search, vector databases, and also retrieval strategies that are at play, right? We also show you advanced RAG patterns, which is how do you look at hybrid search? How do you look at re-ranking mechanism along with compression of context? Because the more data an LLM reads, the context gets shrinking. So something if you built internally, right? A lot of companies today, as you might have already seen, they want compliant solutions, they want secure solutions, and they're afraid of, can we go to ChatGPT and Claude and give our information? Most of the times they decide against it, and that's when they come to a RAG or building an SLM, right? SLM is slightly deeper concept, but that's where they get started with a RAG, which is compliant and secure. It stays inside your company's ecosystem and you are able to work with your data. We also teach you how do you evaluate these RAG quality on precision, recall, and hallucination mitigation. And what are the tools that we go deeper into? Right? First of all, we help you build a Notebook LM clone. Notebook LM is open source tool available by Google, Google DeepMind, which is a RAG which you can work around and play out, right? How you can upload your own docs into a vector knowledge base, asking questions and get grounded answers and cited answers, along with demoing your clone to a lot of people or internally in your company. Right? That's what you'll build. And 4 projects over just 2 days. And people take about years to ship out these projects. And that's why we have designed it under 2 days. The tools that we'll go once again deeper into agent frameworks we learn is LangGraph, AutoGen, Crew AI. Vector databases we'll go deep into is Pinecone, ChromaDB, Superbase, PG Vector. Along with that, embedding models, which is OpenAI embeddings, Cohere, Hugging Face. We'll also look at a lot of closed source model in Hugging Face and how to set up those pipelines along with Llama Index, LangChain, and Haystack, right? And that's what exactly it is structured. How does this bootcamp work? You will attend a 2-day live workshop event by top 1% mentors, equivalent to a 16-hour session that you will be with us. This is completely live workshops which are designed in a way that you learn advanced concept and build on the go along with us. You learn from us, you build it, you participate in a breakout session and hands-on activities. You'll attempt quizzes, other tasks, a lot of things that we do, we show you and we build a few things together. You'll network with like-minded people who are in here, right? Just 16 hours, one weekend, and you can learn, apply, and network by Sunday night, because this will be Saturday and Sunday. You will be amongst the best in the AI world. And yes, there will not be recordings provided for this. You'll have to attend this bootcamp completely live, right? Here's the schedule of the Generative AI Engineers Bootcamp. The day one is going to be scheduled at 22nd May, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday. And day two, we come back on 23rd May, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. If these days do not work for you, you can enroll now and defer to a future batch. We conduct one batch every month, and one-time deferral is completely free if you sign up today. You also get a certificate signed by top 1% mentors like Siddharth and a few others that you'll be meeting. You build your learning credibility using this certificate and are also able to share and use it as a badge of accomplishment. I have another surprise very quickly before we come to the pricing, right? Everyone who joins the Generative AI Bootcamp today will get access to the following bonuses. Now, how many do we have? Keep a check. The first one, the first one, the first one, the first one. Is the anticipation going on? Oh, perfect. The chat is already saying yes. Perfect. So the first one is you get access to Gen AI engineers community for 1 whole year. Everybody who's part of our any initiatives, curated initiatives, you get access to those people. People at 10 to 15 years of average experience who are adopting Gen AI systems in their organizations. You get to talk to them, learn from them, and also take their help in implementation. Second, you get to learn from multiple rockstar mentors. You get to learn from King Siddharth. You already saw him today. He's head of product at product and design at Outskill, along with Growth School. Second, you get to learn from Ishan Datta, who's an ML engineer at Adobe. He's also ex NVIDIA, training models for Adobe and a few of his clients that he works with. You will meet Dilip, who's head of AI initiatives at Outskill. He's PhD from IIT Madras on multiple things that he's working on in AI. You'll meet Akhil, who's responsible, single-handedly responsible to help 20,000 engineers ship out their AI products live in about last 2 years of time, where he dedicatedly works with you in these 2-day bootcamp as well. You'll meet Paras, who's now a founder, has worked with companies like MasterCard and Visa on AI projects and implementation, along with Divich, who's a data scientist at Microsoft, closely worked with Microsoft Copilot team that a lot of you would be anyways using. In Mega Bonus 3, you get printable workbooks and guides for you to practice things that you need to master. Everything that we teach you, everything that you need, that you build with us, you get a printable workbook so you can follow it as a book, keep on doing it at your own time as well after these 2 days, right? So you don't get the recordings, you get a lot of resources from us so that you can keep on remembering and building it on the go as well. Mega bonus is 4, you get access to 1 year of AI agents. Now, what these 1 year of AI agents are, you will get access to a library where you'll be building 30 plus AI agents through this. Now, let me quickly show you what that is before I sort of quickly show this. This is the platform that you'll normally get access to, right? Where you'll be building 30 plus agents. For example, hate speech detector agent, resume screening, review sentiment. These are live products that you can show in your company or build for your organization. These are beginner levels. We have intermediate levels for DevOps analysis and multiple use cases, that you sort of work around. Advanced level autonomous agents, like hiring pipeline, news fact checker, price intelligence. And these are for you to practice and learn. You'll get so much implementation understanding that you'll be able to build not only agents and automated workflow for your own work. And that's why it's designed. The final thing that you get access to is automation library, right? Now, what does automation library mean? You already do a lot of your workflows today. You will get templatized plug and play automations where you will be, for example, a workflow includes 10 steps. We have already thought about majority of these use cases that engineers and working professionals have, and have built templates that you'll be able to plug and play and utilize these automation. Along with the final bonus coming in is prompts library. We have DevOps, we have senior engineers, we have people who are from sort of data science, marketing and design, a lot more people, right? We have looked at what are the top workflows that people are adopting to in AI. And as Siddharth showed you, use sort of, give it your brain dump and create the prompt and then work with AI. This is exactly what we have done for you. It's done for you. Prompts library, no matter which profession are you in, you get copy paste prompt templates. Now, definitely you'll have to use your brain to make it work right? And that's what we'll teach you in our bootcamp as well, right? all the bonuses. You will get these access to bonuses if you enroll today. The whole price of all the bonuses along with the resources that you get access to is 1.29 lakhs. And normally when we do it for companies, we sell it at about 10k per employee, depending on the number of. For international plans, we do it for slightly much higher. We have already worked with Uber, Domino's, Shiprocket, and a lot of others. But today, the workshop special price also we normally open at 10k, but just for today, as I said, this is something very special we are doing for just 50 people who join today, right? So today's price for the whole boot camp, along with all the bonuses, everything that you saw coming in, is going to be 1,999 or $99. What I'm going to do is drop the payment link in the chat. 199 is all inclusive. You do not pay GST to us because we are partnered with National Skill Development Cell, and our courses are exempted by Government of India partnership, and we pass on that benefit. For everybody who's outside of India, $99 is what you pay. If when you click on the link, you'll find two buttons: India price 1,999 and outside India is $999. It includes everything that I showed. But there's something still remaining, and what that could be, right? For first 50 users, as I said, who enroll, the pricing is 1,999 or $99. After 50 users enroll till the end of the workshop and we have exhausted, you'll get it at 10k. And after the workshop, you'll be able to pay 25k and still participate. You can click on the link in the chat box to enroll now and be the part of first 50 users. Now, as I said, we have massive bonuses. Let me now share that, right? We have something very crazy for the first 50 people and two more mega bonuses coming on top of what already is what I have shared. The first thing, you get access to numerous AI, which is valued at $120, which is at 10,000 rupees on a yearly basis. What is numerous AI? It is a tool that can sit on top of your Excel sheet or spreadsheets, whatever you use, and it can help you do data analysis at the depth. You can sort of work with data analysis of any kind if you have this AI tool. And it is not something where you upload your data and do analysis. This is something as a plugin, it will command your access to the sheet and it will do everything that you ask it to say. Imagine you asking some analyst, your data scientist, or a sort of, a data analyst. Imagine that on your computer over your sheet, and you ask it and it will do the things for you, right? The second mega bonus that you get access to is Get Multi, which is valued at $186, 16,000 rupees billed annually. Now, what this platform exactly is, you see, Siddharth was using 3 tabs for cursor, he was using about Cloud Code, he was also using CodeX. Now, this platform will help you make a decision when you sort of add your own API key of LLM models. When you write a prompt, it will run it over 50 AI models and tell you, and you will be able to make a better decision of which task is to be done by which model and what is working for which exactly, right? Now, once again, right, imagine this: you have this tool open, you write a prompt that I want to get XYZ code or build this XYZ feature. You don't know which model should I go. Should I go to Sonnet 5? Should I go to sort of any models of GPT? Should I go to sort of Perplexity or every model? About 600 models available on Open Router. How do you know which model is right? That's where Get Multi will run your prompt through multiple AI models so that you can make a right decision. And once you attach your API key, so that all runs your own account and you are able to use that tool further, right? So all of these bonuses, as I said, right? I didn't reveal this before. I told you there's a massive surprise, as we cannot give mega bonuses to everyone, but only and only to first 50 people, right? Do you think if someone has access to all of these, it is going to be an unfair advantage like nothing? We showed about 60-70 minutes of what you can do with AI with GPT 5.5, Cloud Code, and a lot others. But along with, what about you spend 2 days with us building these, and in 2 days you are ahead and already ready with becoming an AI native professional, right? As I said, once again, all the things that you see right now today with the additional two mega bonuses, the price is only 1,999 for Indian users, and for people outside is $99 for first 50 users only. And this is the schedule once again. Day one, full day, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST is where you go. And day two is Sunday, 23rd May, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's one batch. Once again, if these dates do not work for you, you can enroll now and defer to a future batch to try to do one batch every month. And once again, how this is going to operate. Once you sign up today, once you make a payment today, in 24 hours, you will receive an email from us on how do you access these bonuses. how exactly
तो खाली
you
कोर्स थोड़ी छे
access the
यार
platform, where you
सब्सक्रिप्शन
find
है
all
बीजा
the
टूल
resources before
वापर
the
वाटू
boot camp starts, so you are
एक
ready,
और आटू
right?
से
A lot of you who do not have
एक दिन
understanding
નથી
of code or some lingo of AI, you get reads material, so that before the bootcamp starts, you are able to absorb it, you are able to understand it, and 2 days are a complete breathe, and you are able to build minimum 4 projects over these 2 days, and with bonuses getting to 30 to 50 agents in about a week's time if you spend that time, right? This is exactly what we have, and we also keep on doing much more initiatives on top of that. But that's what we have for all the engineers, for all the professionals today who want to participate and go much deeper in what you saw, right? This is
हाँ
basically how our community looks like, that you get access to. And you see people are doing tasks and sharing with each other.
अला अला
They keep on asking each other for help after these 2 days of boot camp, and the
₹2
kind of
लेना है
things.
वो
And I can sort of, this is the gratitude channel. Thank you, Krishna Kumar. Thank you. A lot of things that they keep on collaborating on. People have worked together and become co-founders. There are people who have sort of worked together and raised funds for their product. There are multiple people who have gone
थैंक यू
beyond
थैंक
just
यू थैंक यू
MVP and actually saw some real traction and
दे आते
sort
ले
of are doing multiple things. There are limited things that we can talk about, because a lot of people have also involved AI in their
जाओ
transformation
थैंक
journey
यू
for
हेलो
their organization,
बिस्किट
which
नहीं
is
आवे
something we can't share online. But
नहीं
yeah,
थैंक यू आवे
once you sort of get in, that's how it works, right? Very quickly, I'll tell you how this experience look like, so you can hear it from people and not just me. We'll take about just minutes time to see what people have to say, and we'll come down to questions very quickly, right? And I'll also share you how much seats do we have left. But it's only for first 50 users. You have the link in the chat, which you can use, and that's when we'll come and take questions, right? I'll just play the video and come back in about minutes time. Okay, take the chance now.
You have done an amazing job. You should be proud. You totally over delivered.
Hey, this was mind blowing.
The lovely, really amazing 2 days.
Amazing. Really great.
चॉकलेट नहीं
Like just
बिस्किट ₹2
totally
लेना
life
पहले
changing.
चॉकलेट मांगी
It was a very great
बिस्किट है टूल
session. How you organized this session so well.
Growth School under commits and over delivers.
I had an amazing session. Last 2 days I was hooked my screen.
It was kind of strenuous to focus for 16 hours. I wouldn't lie with that.
But I was attached to you guys. No matter what happens, I have to complete this.
Managing 700 people with this level of excellence, amazing, amazing, very, very inspirational. The value that you have given for the price, giving great value, absolutely delight your customer. So absolutely amazing. I am really, really inspired, because I have a bunch of ideas that I want to manifest. And through these 2 days, I could see in my head, my neurons are firing.
I've actually, I'm a novice in all of this, although the company that I work for has been doing this for a while. We even created our own, what's called LOAI, because I'm in the finance industry. And now I understand why we're getting a lot of errors after you showed me what the back end does, so to speak.
Use cases of this, and where can I implement all these, learnings. So thank you so much for opportunity extended by you guys, and content was really, really awesome. And your energies are really, incredible. So you are, you people. I think it's a very young organization with young, blood.
After 13 years, like after completing college, 13 years, it's been 13 years. I have sat for so long, after so many years. So thanks for all the energy what you gave since last 2 days, so that I was able to sit here properly. And the thing yesterday, what we created one app, right? So that was something which blew my mind.
Your applications can, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm sitting here and my mind is just, I'm like the little emoji with the thing over its head. The whole time, this whole weekend, there's just so many things that I'm so excited about. And I just can't wait to start applying those things. And I've got a lot of learning to do, and I've got a lot of notes that I took. I mean, it's going to be a challenge for me, no doubt, but I am so excited.
In my first year of my college, I have created a website, but it didn't go well. But by yesterday, I learned how to create a website by using AI. I knew it, but I don't know how to implement it and how to do it. But instead I created it, and I showed to my parents also. My parents are also shocked at how AI can do these things. But yeah, I told them that this works like this, and it was really great.
Had a chance to be with you all this 2 days. And guys, your efficiency and resilience is incredible. I don't know what time is in your place. Your colleague was in India. I don't know if you are as well. So it's what, nearly 5 o'clock in the morning? Something
It's
like
about
this?
7:20.
Oh my gosh, so it's another day. It's the start of another day. So congratulations on this. Absolutely, I'm absolutely surprised.
I had a great time. I am hoping to learn more. I also signed up for the interview, one-on-one interview. So just a little bit about myself. I am an ex-lawyer. I recently left my job to pursue other things. So I'm in the process of starting my e-commerce business. So all of this is going to be directly helpful as someone who's working alone.
Actually, I've been using ChatGPT for last 6-7 months, but again, I was using it to just correct the communication and everything. After attending this 16 hours of intense workshop, I realized there is much more power into chat only into a ChatGPT, and then all other tools have been introduced. So the sky is the limit. So whatever you can imagine, you can achieve,
Yesterday, all the things that were taught, I implemented them immediately, and I sent our client two things made out of the things I learned from the sessions. So our client did not have the product to send us for their Holi campaign. So I basically created Holi campaign posts and a video for them, and they needed it immediately. So yeah.
Thank you so much again. This was really the best webinar I have attended so far since I started to do webinars. Is because not only your ability to speak and explain complex stuff in a simple language, leveraging great case study, but also your life.
I am actually based in Florida, so I stayed for 2 nights, and it was like I never thought of I could have stayed that much. So I really loved all your lessons. It was very well structured and.
Okay. Let's not give you everything about what do we do. Let's just keep some surprises for that 2 days. But definitely a lot more things that people do inside, and a lot of things that we have them do along with the kind of projects that they actually build, right? Let me find a file if I'm able to show you that very quickly, and you can also start typing your questions in the chat very quickly, right? Give me one quick second and I'll show you. Perfect. Okay, I found some file. Let's see. This is how many these are? These are about 3,000 apps that people have built just in first session. These are a mix of Claude artifacts. These are a mix of custom GPTs that people make across different batches that they have. And I can just scrolling here. This is de-stress and boost productivity. This is an expense tracker. People choose their own projects and build it. Let me see what this project has. We have sort of upgraded it a lot, but yeah, this is one of the older sort of versions of what we used to do. And yeah, that's basically what happens. Oh, we had a few more things there. Let me quickly run you through. And where is it? Yeah. This is slightly an older file, right? This is slightly an older file, but there are a few more things that keep on doing. There are community wins that we keep on tracking. People create sort of songs for us at the end of the day to sort of thank us. There are many people who have created YouTube videos using AI. They have created Gemini gems, and these are just the things that we are able to share with you, right? People who are in tech create very sophisticated apps and things, but we cannot talk about it because definitely their companies do not allow, right? So about that, right? So let me do this now. Now is the time when we'll start taking questions, but while we do that, I'll also tell you this. Give me one quick second. Everyone who has signed up, you might have received a payment confirmation email right now, and you will also receive an email in next 24 hours with all the resources that we spoke about. Along with that, all the tools that you have access to and how you could do that. along with pre-read material so that you are ready before this starts, right? So everything that you hear about is not new. You don't waste time just on hearing about what you could do and how, right? So that's basically what will happen, right? There are already a few questions coming in. This bootcamp overnight for us in the US. Alan, we do not have a time for the US. We tried it once, but we don't have time dedicatedly for this. This is the only time that we have. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST translates to uh, 10 a.m. 10 p.m. for you to sort of up till 4 p.m. Perfect. Siddharth, let's take a few questions. People have been very curious, so let's answer them quickly. Let me curate them as well. Perfect. The link says AI for business leaders, not engineers bootcamp. No, Alan, this one is engineers one. Engineers one, right? Because there are two things, right? Since we have a partnership with NSDC, the names are slightly different for them and for us. So on payment links, you see Gen AI for business leaders. But yeah, 22nd of May is Friday, not Saturday. Depending on the country that you're part of, give me 1 second. Let me just be double sure. It normally doesn't happen though. But yeah, given on the country you are in, the slight timing may change there. But let me check. Yeah. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, the 2 full days. Perfect. Siddharth.
Yeah.
So one question that was coming in, Siddharth, was that we can definitely use models on Claude and Codex sort of on their platforms. But since Codex did not work, is it also advisable to use GPT-5 in their own CLI through GitHub or through other channels that they use?
CLI works, Codex also worked. It worked for us. It ran its app.
No, basically, also the question was, it's great to always use the platform that the tools give, for example, GPT-5 on Codex, but can I also pull it in some other sort of tool, let's say on GitHub?
You can do on Cursor, you can do on Copilot, you can do it on Factory.ai.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. As AI automating codes, what skill fresher candidates have and what hiring process is expecting?
What skills fresher candidates? So freshers are now, it's become a crazy world, to be very honest. I'm going to be very honest. The bar is just too damn high. I think it's only when people run out of tokens do they go like, I wish I hadn't done. So the entry level jobs, like the jokes part, is becoming very difficult. So what you want to do is, you want to be definitely, earlier you needed to be decent at code or at least have an inclination to get hired. Now people will look for more. For example, they will look for people who can communicate well. That was something that was never asked of engineers. Empathy, team playerness, interest in the industry. These kind of things will start to factor in more. So all I would say is, during your student life, get as much of AI usage as you can to learn and develop whatever skills that you can. The day and age of, oh, this is the bucket, all you learn all the skills in this bucket and you become XYZ label, like this makes a software engineer, this makes a DevOps engineer. All of that is going away. People want software people who have interest in tech and want to ship high quality stuff, want to solve difficult problems. That is not going away. But if code is the only thing you had, then you need more. Rather than using AI to prompt AI, which can cause excessive code slop, you said write your own prompt and doc for vibe coding. You can write your own documentation, yes, or you can just blabber into a voice note. That also helps. Anything, like, just don't bring in AI, another AI between you and the AI. That's the whole point. Can you please share one of your Claude.md? Yeah, sure. I'll share one example. 1 second.
Your voice is slightly lower than before, in case.
Oh, that is strange.
Amit is asking, I have registration payment. The mail I received says business. Yeah, folks, yeah, it's perfect, Siddharth. I think the volume increased. Folks, if you have made the payment and if you have received the confirmation, the receipt might say business bootcamp. That's completely fine. You'll also receive an updated email in 24 hours with all the details along with WhatsApp community and any resource link that you find, right? But yeah, Siddharth, you were answering.
Yeah, I was just going to share a sample Claude.md. Let me just share it with you folks. There you go. This is a sample one. All right. Um, Thanks. I brought it an extra lifetime on. Can we switch bonuses? Okay, that is separate. I think you can take it up.
Yeah. So one of the other question that was also coming was that I think when you showed skill, some people were also asking that is skills just like CSS or it's different, and how you sort of approach it when you build projects?
Skill is like imagine there is a book written on how to write code for games for GPUs, right? And you have an engineer who comes on board, but they don't know how to write optimized code for games. So you give them a book, they read that book and become better. Now this entire process would have taken a couple of months, if not years. With AI, you're just uploading the book. The book is in format of markdown files, and it's if any of you seen Matrix, they download kung fu, in their brain, and they start doing kung fu. It's similar. Same thing happens with skills and agents. All right, you can literally download. Oh, this is how you write optimized Rust. This is how you build a Swift app. That is how I would want you to think about it.
Got it. Perfect. And for people, if in case you want to defer and you're not available for May, if you once you receive our email, you can respond to that, and our team will take care of that. One second. Will there be certificate? Yes, there is a certificate for bootcamp. Can you help me with this? I'm trying to do the upgrade. Okay.
This business leaders wala thing is NSDC, yeah?
It is NSDC, yeah. Yeah. Can you also share agents MD file if that's the case? Okay.
This is the same. Like Claude.md and agents.md is the same. Agents.md is respected by everyone except Claude, and Claude is also accepted by everyone. So Claude is the renegade.
Got it. Perfect. And what kind of, I think one common question also comes in, right, which is not related to the things we do, but what is the system requirement?
Any regular system with 8 to 16 GB RAM is enough, because you're not running local AI models, and for coding they are not that great. For basic stuff, you can use them, but whatever system that most engineers use, you can continue to use that.
Understood. Got it. Folks, one question in the chat, right? There are 2 to 3 people I saw they are facing some problem. Can you just describe what is the problem that
or
you
share
have?
a screenshot or something?
Yeah, that would really help, because if there's a tech problem, Siddharth can help us fix it.
Yeah.
Or with his team.
I'll prompt my agent right away.
Yeah. So that is one. Perfect. Now, Siddharth, when we talk about CodeX or GPT 5.5, or we talk about, let's say, Sonnet, how often do you change your stack, right? If you're already, let's say, working with Claude Sonnet or Opus 4.7 and my system is on it,
right?
Do I change it when the new model comes in? How do you think about evolving my stack?
I usually go to the latest model, especially if it's not more expensive. Right now, for example, I'm avoiding 4.7 because it is more expensive. But when Opus 4.6 came out, it was less. So I optimize by least cost. Usually I'm switching, though that's the only reason to switch. Or when I have to bring the heavyweights in, then I will switch the thinking mode to high. But more and more what I'm seeing is like for large variety of things where earlier you needed to know, okay, switch to this model now, switch to that model now, that has gone away. Mostly you can just pick the latest model and run with it. It's mostly good enough.
Understood. Got it. Perfect. Got it. And also, do you recommend using open tools? For example, you showed CodeRabbit, right? But people can also build their own testing agents. So how do you sort of decide, should I build an agent? Should I sort of use the sort of, the platforms available already? How do I evaluate if that would do my job? And how do you go about sort of that?
So CodeRabbit has a free this thing. Reptile also has, you can sign up. So you will know how they work. Based on that, definitely you can build your own agent for code reviews. However, I have tried that, and in the end, it was more expensive than paying them $30 or having the free account, because for code review, agent has to read a lot of code, and if you have a large repository, it will consume a lot of tokens. So I remember like one some like cycle of code reviews when I was trying my agent to maintain notes and do code reviews. it ran a bill of almost $20. I was like, add $10 extra and you get like a lot more credits on because they are kind of like subsidizing it. So in the end, like unless you have H100s and A100 GPUs lying around, which mostly I'm guessing you don't, you won't have a powerful enough agent to like do it for free, and API cost is usually more than subscriptions. But enterprises still have their own implementation, especially with sensitive code bases, etc. For enterprises, it's worth it. They can make better sense of that than paying that company.
Got it. Perfect. Folks, I would also like you to text something in the chat, which is in text, if you could tell us how did you like the session, or if you wanted to include us a couple of things, because we keep on trying to do this once every 2 weeks. So we know what do you want to learn, how do you want to learn, and how exactly we should sort of design these sessions if that's the case. There are only some people who have filled the poll. About 70%, 30% are left. So you can use the chat to do that. And perfect. We'll take questions for 5 more minutes very quickly. We have 9 more seats remaining as per the latest update. I'll also confirm the names very shortly before we end the day. But yeah.
Front end design with Claude. Can I just take 2 minutes to show you?
You can. Yeah, perfect.
So sorry. I'm just like, since brilliant question came, I thought I would share. Recently, Claude launched Claude Design, and it's very expensive in general, the tokens they are charging for it, but not bad. I tried and it's kind of good at building UI, though I think it's a little more complicated than it needs to. So I hope they simplify it over time. But let me show you what, like you have Claude Code right here. You have design right here. So if I click on design, this is also recent release. For example, I was building a design with an agent for an app, and this is the design it made. And I can try different components like that. This is one of the components. This is another component. And it's pretty good at design. This was the first version that it shipped, which I also liked quite a bit. And yeah, so it is part of Pro only, and the usage is super limited. But it is, I think they are trying to become replacement of Figma, and Claude and Anthropic may be the only company who can do it. And I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait for Figma to become redundant. So yeah, that is Claude design.
Yeah, and it actually hit about what 10% dip in the Figma stock when they released it.
Yeah, that I don't think that was enough. I think you should have tanked
Got
gone out of the business, because this is major. This is major.
So that people are also asking a few questions about the kind of things we cover in bootcamp, right? Can you talk about orchestration that we normally cover and how people are able to utilize that?
Right. Orchestration.
Yeah. I mean, the session that you normally take and few other projects that people build.
So one of the things, folks, is with agents. Today we spoke about you using agents to write code, but you can put agents literally inside your apps. For example, if you talk to any customer support, which is mostly AI now, that is also kind of agent, and it can make things more powerful. And just one agent is like so powerful. When you combine multiple agents, the kind of stuff you can do is unthinkable. Like there are so many things that projects that I'm involved in, so many things that I'm doing for myself, some projects that I'm pursuing, which would have been impossible if we were not in the world of AI agents. That requires a mindset change. So we try to build towards it step by step, and sort of in a way try to distill it in your mind, so you can do that switch, and also understand what this new code economy, I like to call it new code economy, when the code is cheap to write and anybody can write it, what happens to the software world. And I think this is the true explosion of software, and agents have a great deal to play in it. And now you can merge software and agent together. It doesn't get more powerful than that. Trust me, like we showcase certain applications, etc., a certain setup that we have built, which do things that was impossible for even the smartest human beings to come together and do in that much time. That would, like, there are things that only agents can make it possible. So it's a whole different worldview, in my opinion. Agents doesn't, even if we spend 6 months on agents, it will still feel like an intro and you can't get deep enough. So we curate it very specifically to ensure that you can see all the sides of how to use agents.
Yeah, and I think which is also that comes to our next follow-on question, which is there are a lot of people from different backgrounds, right? We have people from, let's say, DevOps. We have people who are data analysts, product managers, marketers, designers also at that length. The question is, I am an X profession. How do I use AI for my domain? How should people think about doing this when we are teaching multiple sort of things or features of AI?
First thing that I would like to say, which is the most difficult to do, is remove the awareness that I'm XYZ profession.
Okay.
Because that is bringing the best out of people. When my design team forgot that they are just designers and started, building the app, the prototype, showing it to customers, understanding how people think about it, how it fits in their lives, those boundaries are blurred. For a product manager, now there is no limit. Like earlier, they were only involved in design. Now you can directly prompt and go tweak things. You can literally prompt linear agent to ping the CodeX agent to write the feature, and it like I pulled right here, it will be ready by the time you come back from office. So because they are such, think of agents as a person with specialty that got attached to you. Imagine you suddenly got bandwidth of one engineer. What can you not do as an engineer and product manager? So the first thing of service that you can do to yourself, forget about your profession and just do what is needed, and suddenly you are able to go to the last mile. And because different people are doing this, and the barriers are getting removed because of AI. We are seeing stuff like never before. For example, can you imagine when sales team or marketing team designs a software? It'll be a very different point of view than product team, and that we are getting to see right now. In fact, marketing and product and design is trying to blend their vision of the product, which was all theory earlier. Now it's happening in the product. It's reaching customers in matter of hours. So the feedback loop is much sharper. So try to expand your horizons. Try to see who does work on your work before you do, and who does work on your work after you do. For example, probably QA comes after and product manager comes before, or designer comes before. How can you use AI to get involved in that as well? That will make you more valuable in general anyway, as a tech person, but also give you leverage which is unparalleled. Because or just go deeper in your own subject. For example, maybe you were okay at writing code, but can you now write great code with AI? That could be a challenge you could take. So both options are available. You can expand, which like in a T-shaped thing, right? You can go wider and touch more, subjects, or you can go deeper in your own profession. Usually, I see people doing both.
Understood. So I think we have two questions. One is, after completing the bootcamp, what kind of roles can I target? How should I build my profile to showcase? It's just the extension of what you just shared. But the projects that we actually build, right, will it help people to sort of show that they could work with AI? And also for people who are non-programmers or who are, let's say, trying to transition, how they'll be able to cope up?
So for programmers and software engineers, yes, these projects could be a decent 100%. They are a great showcase. But what I've seen is they become just the stepping stones for people who really take interest, right? Because your interest also matters. And if you really take the interest afterwards, what they come up with themselves, it's usually they learn 8 projects and then they apply it in their own way to their own problem. Those apps, solutions, and demos are mind-blowing, because those people are deep. For example, in one of our cohorts, this one engineer built a story generator for his kid, and it does very specific kind of stories, very specific kind of narrative and image. Like when you saw that entire experience put together, it just right now sounds like a story generator. But when you see that entire thing put together because you worked with his kid, and what was exciting, that kid at that age, the experience was magical. I'm not a kid, but I was excited about, like, when you look at that app and you see that experience. Similarly, there were people in the cohort who had background in clinical, testing and biopsy and those imageries. they used agents to literally fine tune a ResNet model to do detection. Like I had never imagined they would take learnings like this and apply to their profession like that. For me, that is the real gold mine, because it is so unique when people work on such a project. Even like it doesn't have to be complex, but it is so unique that only an engineer who understood both software, AI, and that industry could have done that. So those become one of a kind. Those become like the golden ticket to demonstrate your skill set. Not only that, but also it look like it can help you go like, hey, this is the kind of company I want to work at. For example, let's say you want to work at some place like GitHub. One is like you apply at GitHub, another is you build tool that looks and feels like GitHub, and then apply. So it becomes that way of change. But having said that, yes, the basic projects we teach are 100% useful and demonstrable, but the real magic will come out when you apply it on your own. Both things work, however, because you can imagine it's always you are always needed to stand out in the getting hired market to get hired. It is now more difficult with AI, and or more easier with AI because of this phenomenon.
Perfect. Alex is asking, I'm looking out to create an agent that will help serve as compliance expert that searches for local legislation and determine regulations applicable to my bank in the country. How can I share with the company for self-assessment, which I can share for company for myself? Is this possible to build?
Yeah, it is definitely possible to build, Alex, but I would suggest first start with a deterministic system without agents being involved, just pure software, and then see and note down all, probably using logs or whatever, using notes, understand where all it fails, and then bring in the AI. You will have far better success, especially in case of law. And there is a software design paradigm that can help you. It is called the drafter and the verifier. So there should be an agent which drafts the thing that you're trying to output, especially in case of law and regulations, etc. And you need another agent who verifies it, and the model and prompt for them will be different, etc. So this is also called in banking maker checker, right? So or draft or verifier. So use that pattern, and in my opinion, like in experience in those kind of software, that really helps.
Understood. Perfect. Got it. Are there any? So I think this is also a common question. There are a lot of open source models available and closed source models available as well, right? Is a lot of things that we do achievable by free models, or how much, and how should we utilize for testing? If I have to, let's say, build something, but I need to test, I don't want to spend money. How to approach, working with open source and closed source models there?
I mean, most open source models are actually not bad. Like DeepSeek V4 came out yesterday or something, and it is pretty good, pretty impressive for what they've been able to achieve. But there is not one of us here who can run DeepSeek V4 on our machines. You can run a distilled version of it, but that's not as smart and is not going to write great code for you. In most scenarios, it is cheaper, faster, better to just pay for the model, even if it's open source. You'll just pay less and use it via cloud, because um, it it is not easy to run a full size model. Most people, even using Olama, etc., you may be running Llama 3.1, but you're running a 2 billion, 1 billion parameter distilled version of it, which is nowhere same the smartness that you will get in the full model. For example, most models in today's day and age, for basic experience that you're looking for, will probably need 8 H100s. Who has one H100, let alone 8 H100s, right? So open source models are great for quick writing, cleanup, basic tasks. So there are some models which can do that. If you have very specific tasks, for example, image captioning, you will find internal. So the very specialized tasks, if you're looking for, yes, you will find open source models which are much cheaper. But in general, AI, agentic AI use cases and using for writing code, I would suggest, start with the proprietary ones. There you will have much better experience.
Srini, you should try in incognito. If you have already selected sort of, the one-time offer upgrade, it might cache it. So try in incognito. You should see the help, or you can just try to hire at Outskill and they would help. But yeah, normally it should work. Perfect. Claude and Agent MT. Folks, any other questions? We have gone through almost all of them.
We have answered all of them.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. I think that was it for the day. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for joining us.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining in. You've been an amazing audience. Love the energy. And if you like something and learned something new today, do give Outskill a follow. And I'm also there on Twitter, etc. I'm more active there than LinkedIn. I'm sharing the link in the chat. So if you're active on Twitter, do follow me there, and we'll catch up later.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Siddharth. I'll just spend 5 minutes, tell them about next steps, and then we'll wrap off. Perfect. So, folks, that was Siddharth, and that was our today's CodeX 101, or AI assisted coding for people who understand these AI tools. We looked at CodeX, we looked at GPT 5.5, we looked at Cloud Code. We also looked at what are the multiple terms where you need to understand when you work with AI, right? So the Excel sheet you showed, student projects, were they built in 2-3 days? It was built in the first session from him. But yeah, so that's basically what we wanted to cover today. Show you how exactly you can onboard to AI and do a lot of your coding workflows, implement there. We keep on doing these sessions once in 2 weeks. So next time when you see a session, make sure you join in. We try to cover all the latest updates that keep on coming in. How can you use it, right? Most importantly, that's what we do. Now, for all the people who have signed up, we are almost close to doing that. My team will just send the update. But for all the people who have signed up, you might have already received a confirmation email stating AI for Business Leaders Bootcamp. Business leaders is how we define are all the working professionals, no matter which profession you come from. In 24 hours, you will receive an update from us, which will have a WhatsApp group link, which will have your platform, which is where you access all the resources, all your bonuses, tools, how you access and where, along with pre-reading material of what are the terms that you need to be aware of, so that it becomes easier. If a lot of you who thought, oh, maybe what is MCP or what is that? I mean, definitely a lot of you would now know it, but in case if that's all new to you, if you're first time hearing about AI to begin with, you'll get that update. That is what we wanted to cover. Thank you so much for being with us today. It was a lovely audience, one of the most active ones that we normally get. And I hope you keep on joining a lot of our sessions that we do. Also, we'll share a form on your group so that you can recommend which workshop we should do and what you would like to learn, so that we are able to curate more and specific workshops for you guys. These all sessions that we do are completely free to attend, and that's how we roll. In case if you're facing any troubles, hi@outskill.com is where you reach out to us. And thank you so much. That's it from my side. 1 second. Perfect. You can type in bye in the chat and we'll drop off for the day, right? We have a couple of people still you are waiting for the questions. If you like the session, yeah, I'll see you one more time if you choose to join in about next few weeks of all the updates that we do. Thank you so much. My name is Om Asnani, and you'll see me again. Perfect. Bye.